If feminists had their own country, would they survive?
Absolutely not. I think they would eat each other.
Why wouldn't they survive?
The thing about feminists is they actually hate women. They try to hide under this disguise of like, oh, we love women, but they really want to be men, but then also hate men because they're jealous of them. If you just get a bunch of feminists in a room, like I said, I feel like they'll just all start attacking each other. There will be a moment where they do find a disagreement, and the only way that they'll be able to go on is to be violent. That's what they do.
It's phenomenal. It's like they created a monster with her.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm getting real sick and tired of not getting hit on while I do my job. Okay? Do you see these? Are y'all blind? Hello? I feel like a stand-up comic bombing a show at this point. I'm gonna have to start tapping these things on. The fuck?
It sounds more like instead of you being in the passenger seat and him driving, you're driving, he just put the gas in the car.
So Egghead said this after, because she was talking about how if a woman plans dates sometimes, or she plans all the trips, and all a man does is pay for everything, he's not being a leader. Just got a question for you. Have you ever tried to drive a car without any gas? You ever tried to drive a car without gas? All he did was put the gas in the car. You mean the thing that gets the car going? That gas? Then you got guys in the comments telling her, you're spending all his money, he paid for everything. And here they go in the comments, well, I make my own money. You're not spending it though. What the fuck does that do for me that you're making money if you're not spending it? What does that do for me? I'm so glad to see that there's still women out here like this. Sometimes we just never happy. They're not. They're not. It sounds like another woman. It sounds like he's allowing you to save your money and spend his. I tell you what. How about I plan everything and you pay? Does that sound like a better thing? Because if he's planning and he's paying, what the fuck are you doing? I tell you what, you want men to lead so much. If your man tries to lead you into that gym and get in better shape, is that leadership too? Or are you gonna listen to his word then, or you just, it's only when it comes to finances and shit like that? How does that work?
These modern women are thinking, well, I'm making my own money, and it should be okay with you because I'm not a bum. So because I'm not a bum, you should be happy to pay for me because you're getting somebody that's not leeching off of you. Even though you are paying, you're paying for my abilities. Even though you're not receiving those abilities, you're still, it's a potential that you get some of them, right? Whenever I feel like it. But I'm not a bum. I make my own money.
I'm a passport sister. I'm going to other countries to find masculine men.
I am a passport sis. I married a Filipino 5 years ago.
So guys, I'm officially a passport girl. I am done with the broke 50-50 men in America that want to go 50-50, that want you to cook, clean, and be a slave. I'm officially a passport girl. I'm going overseas now to find my masculine husband.
He said they're going out to Africa and they are fronting the bill on everything. Y'all heard that?
Some advice to passport bros coming from a passport sis.
While everyone was arguing about passport bros, another movement started quietly. Passport girls, women who packed their bags and tried to do the same thing men were doing. But their story did not unfold the same way, because the world does not treat women the same way America treats women. The rules change the moment they land.
I just don't understand how the most basic level men can leave America, travel to these other countries, and just pull absolute tens, like the hottest girls that you will ever see. And these men, like men that we wouldn't even look twice at, are just pulling them and convincing them to date them. Like, I truly don't understand it. Can someone please explain to me how this is happening and how these men are able to get away with it? Also, like, how can we stop this? It's out of control, and it's getting to a point where it needs to be stopped.
Passport bros are not one thing. They are not all heroes. They are not all victims. They're a mix of good stories, bad stories, and stories no one wants to talk about. Because for every man who finds peace overseas, There's another man getting off a plane with a fantasy in his head and no idea what he's walking into. Some men go abroad and feel wanted for the first time in years. Women smile at them. Women talk to them. Women touch their arm without flinching. Women appreciate simple things, and that feeling is powerful. But some men go abroad and get humbled quick. They trust too quickly. They spend too much. They move like tourists, not partners. And they get used for their money, papers, food rights, and access to America.
Guy in the comments says, ladies, I want to go out on a limb and speak for all men. We're not losing any sleep over the thought of you going overseas to find a good man. We wish you well. Bring them back. Our workforce has a shortage. Absolutely. We'd love to meet him. Have him out, hang out. Hey, brother, come on over. Hang out the house, man. We having some wings, brother. Come over and watch the game. Girl, we don't care nothing about what you got going on. As a matter of fact, that man will probably get over here. We'll probably like the man too. He'll probably be a cool dude, a chill dude. Know that whatever you got going on is probably going to come out at some time. And let's be fair. Maybe you couldn't find anybody over here. So maybe you're going to go overseas and look for a man over there. Like this man in the comments said, I wish you well. I wish you well. Not going to get mad at that. I'm not going to say that you're a terrible person. You might be, but I ain't going to say that. You might be a good person, just haven't had any luck. Be safe. Know the laws of that country. Understand the customs, the rules, and the culture so you don't get yourself in trouble. But yeah, man, go crazy.
So my sister has been in a relationship for 3 years with a man who's gifted from God himself. And I said to her just then, I said, if you didn't have him, you would struggle just as much as everyone else to find a good man to get into a relationship with. And she said that because she's what?
I said I'm quite likable.
And you what?
And I know how to talk to men.
So because she's likable and she knows how to talk to men, she thinks that she would go and find another one just as easy.
That's exactly what I said. No offense to everyone else out there who's finding it a little bit.
So those of you that are finding it very hard to find a man, it's just because you're not likable, right? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Do you hear it out loud now and it doesn't make fucking sense? Exactly. Good bitch.
I see a lot of people talking about the fact that women will pursue men who are taken with their partner being an attractive female, right? That's usually the preface of this conversation. And I want to dig into why this is, because we're acting like this is newfound information when really this is backed by psychology and we've known this for a long time. And again, don't take my word for it. Read The Moral Animal. Read any of David Buss's work, right? You'll learn this pretty quickly, that a girl's girl doesn't really exist. Women are in constant competition with other women, and we don't do it the same way that men do. Men will just go beat the shit out of one another and they'll call it a day, shake hands and move on with their lives. Women love to gossip and they love to reputation slander. This is why a woman's best friend will, behind her best friend's back, talk shit about her to her boyfriend that she is actually trying to sleep with. If a woman is online talking about her marriage and how happy she is, she'll be called a pick-me. Or women will tell her that she's got internalized misogyny or she's been brainwashed by the patriarchy, when really she's just standing on her opinion based on her lived experience and her relationship with her man, which is very positive, in contrast to women who are single, divorcees, or just bitter. And married women who are happily married know this. This is why the internet is full of people talking about how bad men are, how terrible marriage is, because the happily married people keep their mouths shut, because women know how other women operate. Favorite part about this conversation is they somehow always throw a backhanded compliment at the man. Like, the guy's not even attractive, she's just beautiful. Like, beauty is not an assessment or a proper assessment of somebody's quality, of the quality of a person, right? Their character. Are they actually a good partner? Because the reality is, if she's a good woman and she's with a man that you deem to be less attractive based on your subjective perspective on what attractiveness actually is, well then yeah, you can throw stones at him, but the reality is he's a quality partner. And what women assume is, one, they envy her, they don't like her, whether she's more attractive, has more status, obviously has a partner that takes care of her or provides for her, or she's younger, right? There's going to be some intersexual competition there. And they will pursue the man because he's already been filtered out by her female counterpart to be a good partner. And she doesn't want to do the work of being a good partner or pursuing the character traits or working on herself to be somebody who could get into a relationship where a man actually treats her well. Instead, why not play the game where it's easier to just take somebody else's partner? And this is why women supporting women is always context dependent on if you agree with the same beliefs that I have. And a girl's girl is also dependent on, well, you must have the same convictions and values that I do. And if not, what do? They gossip and they reputation slander. This is female behavior. It's been this way. It is this way. It will continue to go this way because we continue to justify why it's okay. We rationalize our decision making and we personalize things that other people say because we cannot practice restraint around the fact that maybe that person's opinion is something that they have the right to have that I completely disagree with and I don't have to listen to. It's like the internet people just feel like they have to leave comments and they get triggered in people's sections and they've got to justify their behavior and justify their beliefs and their values and then incentivize other women to engage in the same type of degrading behavior. Because any woman who says anything about self-respect, about modesty, about faith, right? Anything, immediately attacked by mostly feminists. But again, even as somebody who doesn't agree with feminism, I respect your right to live your life the way that you want to, right? Your consciousness is not mine. I don't have to live with that. You do. And so you have the freedom to do that. I have the freedom to talk about things that I care about. And I do care about men, and I will speak for men, just like I care about women, and I will speak to women who are ready and willing and want to live a better life for them that may not be aligned with the ideological capture that they've experienced via social media and propaganda and all the bullshit that the media has to sell them on. And I know that I'm covering a multitude of subjects on this Monday rant, but I had to get it off my chest because I'm so sick of seeing this women support women and girls bullshit when it's all under the guise of, if you agree with me and behave the way I want you to and engage in the same or enable the behaviors that I engage with by participating in what I do, then we can be friends. And to women who know this, who notice this, and do not want to be aligned with that type of behavior, please just be aware of who you surround yourself with, what you consume, and more importantly, the consequences of the choices that you make because you will be the person who has to pay the price of living with that in your mind and those regrets of your soul. When you could have chosen to go against the grain and yes, resist the pressure, because I know there's a ton of peer pressure to behave in certain ways or engage in certain behaviors, but their life, their decisions, and their pressure is more about them feeling validated in the pursuits that they engage with versus giving a shit about you.
That's exactly what it is. You got to agree with me. You got to support what I support, or else we're not friends. You're not a girl's girl. You're not doing what you need to be doing in order to prove your loyalty to me. Once again, I heard one woman say unquestioned loyalty. Unquestioned. Like there don't need to be no kind of, oh, well, maybe this, maybe that. Unquestioned loyalty. Give it to me in any situation, however it is. Just whenever I need you, however I need you, just show up. Even if I'm acting a darn fool. Just show up.
I was telling my best friend yesterday, she was like, I don't really talk during sex. Like, it doesn't. I said, I'll say I love you. I don't give a damn. Let me tell you something. Sex is witchcraft. Okay, and for me, I've shut myself off completely from whatever the fuck you have going on. So this for me is practice time. Okay, no wonder my last situationship, it asked me to be his girlfriend like 4 times. I was like, whoa, no. And after I said I love you during whatever, he was like, he tried to say it as I was leaving. I said, no, it was a mistake. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to lead you on. Like, it just came out. Like, I really don't feel that way. And he's like, well, you had to feel some kind of way. You fucking said it, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, I didn't fucking mean it. I say a lot of shit I don't mean. I say a lot of shit. I lie. I'm a liar, pathologically. Why the fuck would I tell you I love you? I don't even like you. I see you after 9 p.m. on Saturdays. Why the fuck would I say that? Why? Because it helped me get what I want. He's obsessed with me. He won't stop calling my phone. Gotcha, bitch.
And I want you to be reminded that men see these videos. And so when your situationship ends and a man says, I want to get in line for that. Let's play the game. And that man takes the game to another level, you're going to be upset about that. Number one. Number two, when you're trying to find somebody that's actually going to take you seriously and they see stuff like this, what do you expect to happen? Social media is forever. You got to be careful of what you're saying and what you're doing. But I guess you guys don't really care about that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you this right now because my last day thought I was playing. But just because you pay for this meal doesn't mean I'm giving you none. I just wanted to let you know that.
Girl, why you even bringing that shit up? That must be the type of men that you used to dating. Newsflash, baby girl. Everybody do not want your cookie.
You feel like that was necessary to say?
Yeah, I definitely did.
Okay, so how about this?
Okay.
Bread or buns?
What do you mean? Bread or buns? What?
I'm not spending my bread.
Oh, okay.
Unless I get some buns, since that's the energy
No.
you wanted to come with.
No.
Well, hell, you brought it up as if you wanted him to say that.
No, I'm not paying.
I will pay for my side of town, and you can pay for yours.
Okay,
we both win, right?
Okay, wait.
Because that was unnecessary to say.
You saying you ain't got no money, or what are you trying to say right now?
Baby, do you see my wallet?
Both of y'all need to end this date immediately because his ass took the bait and your ass threw it. Girl, all you had to do is say you wanted to get in bed with him. You ain't have to throw it about no goddamn food and no money and calling him broke and stuff. Girl, just say you wanted to give up that cookie.
So I seen a video from a woman that was pretty upset about the fisherman comment that's so popular amongst men, which is you don't take advice on how to catch fish from a fish, you take it from the fisherman. And at first glance, I can understand why that would be annoying, to women, because it's very much like, so you're not even going to listen to what women say that they want, you're just going to listen to men? And what you guys say that you want is taken into account for sure, but let me explain it this way. Every man starts out, when they have interest in women, they're trying to gain more information. Like, what is it that they like? What gets me a woman? Like, what do I got to do? And in that, do you think that most of these men, their first reaction isn't to just take your advice? They do. They do. Why wouldn't I listen to the woman instead of this man? Listen to the woman, especially if she's attractive. She's telling me that this is what they want. And you know what? That's fair. That makes sense. Women are just, so soft and delicate and fucking princesses. So if they want all this amazing fucking treatment, okay, I can do that. And then you find out like, oh shit, this isn't Disney. These women aren't princesses and shit. Cinderella would never request so much money and throw things at me. But it becomes this thing to where it's not working. It's like somebody gave you this study guide to this test and you're like, fellas, I got the study guide. I'm going to ace this test. And then you get the test back and it's an F. And it was the wrong study guide for that test entirely. And then you're like, well, that's a fluke. I trust this person that's giving me the study guide. So I'm going to keep listening to them and keep taking study guides for the following tests. And then you do this a lot of times and you keep failing. That is their experience, because the truth is what a lot of women like is pretty fucked up. Or it's that. It is a little bit that, trust me. I've heard some shit to where I was like, damn, you are a monster and a terrible person. I will do this action with you, but I would never fucking marry you. You are a beautiful, terrible person. But some of these things, they don't want to come on here and tell you. And I blame society where it is right now, because y'all will say things like, imagine me listening to a man, submitting to a man. I do imagine you doing that because that's exactly what you want to do. But you can't say that. But everything that you describe is a man that can, let's just say, put you in your place. But you won't come on here and say that shit. You will describe a man that you don't respect. Tell me, in a way, how the ideal man that I'm supposed to be is like your baby daddy. See, I can just end the video right here. You know what I mean? It could be over. Fatality. King Penis wins. Sorry, that's my name on Mortal Kombat. Meaning that the men that you're describing, you're not fucking. You're not doing any of that. A lot of the times a woman will describe a man that she'll cheat on. A lot of the times a woman will describe a man that she'll never fucking respect. I mean, it's never like a realistic answer. Like, give me a well-rounded man that knows when to give me a little bit of advice, but also knows that I just want to talk. I just want to share my day with him, and I want him to generally be interested. Give me a man that can, communicate. Give me a man that knows when to be soft, but also exercise his masculinity and his roughness. Give me a man that can listen to me, but also sit me down and tell me that I'm doing too much. Most of y'all will describe a man that is essentially your slave and throws $100 bills at you as soon as you wake up. The point is if what you were describing a man should be, y'all were fucking, then men would just do that, but it doesn't work. And that's not the men's fault. And the truth is, for some of you, even if you described a realistic man, like meaning that something a man can actually attain, not some crazy, just fucking storybook dude, there is always a chance that some of you would get exactly that and be like, I don't know, girl, I just don't like it. I just didn't know I don't like that. The amount of men that have treated a woman perfectly and then been told, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. And then completely sabotage it and destroy it. It's like a really high number. So I'm not trying to come for y'all. Pause. I'm not trying to attack y'all, but you have to understand that a lot of the shit that you guys say is taken into account. A lot of the things that you guys say is thrown out though, because a lot of men have tried it and it don't work.
And they'll say something to the effect of, I don't know, just something about it. It's just the vibes. It's just the energy. It wasn't anything. He just didn't want to be with him. He didn't want to say anything about that. That's really what it was. Modern women frame it in a way to act like they're saying something, but they're actually just saying, I couldn't do it. That I don't have a reason why I broke up with him. I just got bored. And it sounds bad to say that out loud, unless one of your girlfriends says, girl, you were just bored. Yeah, I was. You know me so well.
Why is it that when a man cheats on a woman, the response is always, there's no excuse for cheating? How could he have cheated on her? She is so beautiful. She is so gorgeous. Has he seen her? He fumbled the bag. She gonna end up with an NFL player soon that is a gorgeous woman. How could he possibly cheat on her? Men are terrible people. But when the woman cheats, always the response is, well, we don't really know the whole story. He probably was taking her for granted. She probably pleaded with him and tried to communicate, and he just would not listen to her. So at some point, she probably broke. We are always siding with the women when it comes to infidelity. At that point, everybody all of a sudden understands nuances and how complicated things can be. Until it was Desmond and Christy. Now all of a sudden, there's absolutely no excuse. Am I saying there is an excuse that anybody should be out breaking their vows and being unfaithful? Absolutely not. But I do believe that you all will be having a very different conversation if it was Christy who was unfaithful, because you guys understand and have far more grace when it's women who step out on their marriages than when it's the man. I do not know those two people. But I know that there's far more possibilities than the one that y'all came up with, which is just, he just didn't like the fact that she got bigger than him. Maybe he got tired of having to perform, maybe having to always look a certain way, or always be the one who is the butt of the jokes, or always be the one who it appears to be disrespected for the sake of content. Maybe. I can't say. Don't know. All I'm saying is I just think it's interesting that everybody is so quick to vilify that man for stepping out on that marriage after requesting a separation. But when it's a woman, you guys have every excuse and justification in the book as to why she may have decided to be unfaithful. Why it may have taken her to that point. Maybe she broke. Maybe she was just so unhappy that the only thing she could think to do was cheat. But why do we never apply that nuance when it's the man who is the one stepping out in that relationship? I see so many people say, well, he should have communicated. How do you know he didn't? How do you know there wasn't a conversation? Because in order for him to have requested a separation, something had to have taken place for him to ask that of her. Am I saying that then gives that man a right to step out of that marriage? No. All I'm saying is apply that same amount of grace and nuance to all the situations, and not just when the woman cheats. Because y'all don't actually care when women cheat on men. You actually champion and applaud women when they cheat. But now that it's the man who cheated, y'all are kicking and screaming, and I don't understand that. I don't understand the hypocrisy. Somebody explain that to me, please.
And I like where you're going with this. We're kind of seeing this with the Desmond Scott and the Christy Scott sort of thing. Nobody wants to excuse it, but to be fair, it from what I've seen, it's kind of like 50-50. Some women are like, oh man, she's a baddie, and this and that. And the thing that keeps on coming to my mind is the quote, she might be beautiful, but somewhere a man is tired of her crap. That's what keeps on coming to mind. We know the statement that Desmond put out. It said, I was asking for a separation towards the end of 2025. And during that time, I did some things and I made some decisions that I'm not proud of. Right? It's always, well, the man is no excuse for it. Has he seen her, like she said? But then all of a sudden, when you get around to her, well, she wasn't fulfilled, yada, yada, yada. No accountability. It's always an excuse. And it might be in this relationship, okay, we got Desmond doing something that he definitely shouldn't have done. But also, let's look at what he was talking about. Why did he feel like that was what he needed to do? It might come out that, no, you just did that because you wanted to do that. But it might come out that, okay, you just did that because you wanted to do that, okay? But there are some things in this relationship that need to be taken care of that were expressed, but they were never handled. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to get on that. We're not going to dissect that because what does it matter? She's too pretty. She's too pretty for all of that, to be dissected, right? It doesn't matter what she does. She's pretty enough to get away with anything. No, you're not. And then women in the comments still talking about, on another note, stupidity. Oh, well, Desmond don't even look that good. Really? We gonna do that now? We gonna do that? Desmond don't look that good? My man is gonna be just fine. And he's a chef. We're not talking about like, oh, I'm a social media chef. No, this brother's trained. This brother's trained to be a chef. And he knows what he's doing. Brother can actually cook. So the man is over 6 feet, good looking, keep his hair cut and trimmed, know how to dress, and you're saying he don't look that good? All right. Sometimes these modern women just be talking stupid. They just get beside themselves and just start talking stupid. Just straight loser behavior just starts pouring, just starts oozing out of them.
This man just stopped me at the TJ Maxx parking lot, or it was like, and I'm thinking that his truck was too big for him to pull in. Okay? And so I moved my car back, and he rolled his window down, and I rolled my window down, and I was like, sorry. He was like, I didn't want you to turn around. I can fix the dent on the side of your car for $150. I said, oh shit. When I came down to pay, this man's flirting me. He's like, oh, I got your number. I'm going to text you. You got a boyfriend? I said, I got a couple. I'm trying to be one of them. He's like, yeah. You got room for one more? And I'm like, yeah. And you blue collar? Yeah. This motherfucker charged me $150 per dent. So he followed me to the ATM. The bank's right there. I pull out $150 and I give it to him. I said, there you go. He said, it's $300. I said, oh. So I go back. I get another $150. Give it to him. And I go, Merry Christmas. And he goes, I hope you're not mad at me about the misunderstanding. I said, what are you doing tonight? I said, I have a date. He said, after? I said, I have work tomorrow. He said, oh, I hope you make some time for me. I said, oh, I will, because I'm going to need that $150 back, one way or another.
Am I the only one that's like this? Probably not. But when my husband is sick, he's been puking all night. Even if he has a cold, for some reason, the rage inside me is such a fiery rage. And I know there's nothing he can do about it to control it. But it just makes me so angry. It's so ridiculous that it makes me so angry. So he's been puking all night, so I slept on the couch because he like moans and groans. He's like noisy when he's sick. And I'm gonna try and be a good wife today. I'm gonna try and get him some medicine. I think maybe it makes me so mad because if I'm sick, like, I still like do my thing. Like, I'm still a mom. I still have stuff I have to do. If I'm like super, super sick, I'll like stay in bed, obviously, if I can't even function. But like, me as a person, when I'm sick, like, close the door, leave me alone. I'm gonna do this stuff to help myself get better, and I'm gonna sleep it off. He like, I think it's just the moaning and the like, I'm an awful wife. I understand that. And I also can't wait to get it. And I know I'm not going to get it. I'm going to pound the silver. We're pounding vitamin C. We're doing all of it. We've got our oils. We've got all our things to prevent anybody else from getting this. But we're married and we had a fun night last night. So 3 hours later, he was puking. Please tell me I'm not going to get this.
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. You got to delete this. It's not a good look. You don't want to be heard saying this type of stuff, especially online. You don't want to be heard saying this. You probably yourself, with the way you're looking right now, you probably need to be right beside him, getting you some rest. Listening to you speak right now, you're probably sick. You're probably sicker than he is. You probably need to get you a good amount of rest. Delete this video as well.
This comment makes me so upset because I think most men genuinely feel this way. I caught up with someone who I'd say is more of like an acquaintance, but we're friendly. We have mutual friends. We were at the same party last night, and I was telling him about so much of this discourse that I have on TikTok around men not approaching women. And time again, the comments keep coming back to, well, a lot of men think they're going to come off creepy if they go up to a girl. And I was asking him his perspective, and, you know, he's objectively attractive, does well for himself, smart, whatever. And I was like, what about you? Like, do you approach women? And he was like, honestly, not really. And I was like, let me guess. You think you're going to come off as a creep? And he's like, hands down. And it literally like I really feel, you know, for men, because I think there are so many just like kind, normal, smart, intelligent, hardworking, great men out there that like will not put themselves out there because our phones literally we are glued to our phones. B, the dating apps, we just want to swipe to find a connection, which whatever. And then C, a lot of like women have been hardened by a lot of not so great men out there that have made women feel uncomfortable, so that we are coming off as not even approachable because we're putting out the signals that we don't even want to be approached. But deep down, I think a lot of women do. We just want the right type of guy to approach us. And I don't mean by looks and height and this and that, all the superficial bullshit. I mean by like character and energy. And I've been getting a lot of comments on here about how, well, if you're not over 6'2", no, enough of that. Like, it's not even about the superficial stuff. It's about the way in which you approach. And you can take this a step further, not even in a romantic way, like platonically. When was the last time you just met a stranger and made a new friend? Like, most people are not doing this, and it's horrible. How are we going to build community if we're not putting ourselves out there? Plain and simple.
Guy in the comments says, you can say the right type of guy isn't about physical attractiveness, but it is, and it is for everyone. The difference is that when a woman I'm not attracted to approaches me, I don't act like a crime has been committed. It's still flattering, and I express that. Women need to learn if a guy they're not into approaches them, they can say they're flattered but not interested without acting like the guy is a predator or a swamp creature. Facts. Facts. These modern women continue to think, oh, I'm the best looking, probably the best he's ever seen. So how dare he not come to me, step to me, approach me with a little bit more reverence.
The year's 2024, and this guy posts on his story, and I think he's cute. And I'm like, you know what? Let me say something. Let me not be scary. Based off my appearance online, not on this TikTok, on my Instagram, you could be like, okay, she bad. You know, I could work with it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me put myself out there. I think I just fucking suck with Riz. Because you know what I'd say to this man? I slide up on his story and I go, wait, why are you fine as fuck? ... mind you, ellipses. I had to put the ... Because in my brain, I'm like, you know what? It's not too much. I'm not like jerking his shit and he knows I want that crazy, because I don't. Never. But it's also like, I think it's funny. Not funny, but it's like I'd say some shit like, I don't know, bro. I just fell out the sky like this. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was cool. I thought it was chill. This man says, thank you, Red Heart. Literally. mid. Bitch, you're mid. Bitch, you thought you were fine shit. No, you're mid. That day humbled me. I've never been the same. Never been the same ever. And I hope so. Give me Riz tips, thank you.
Wait, because there are actually girls out there that are complaining that their man wants to touch them too much. I'm sorry. That's like complaining that your Wi-Fi is too fast or your food is too delicious. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that much. Like, listen, if he is annoying you with this obsession, just send him my way because I will not complain at all.
What's the biggest thing you hate about women?
The biggest thing I hate about women is that, you know, that one Billie Eilish quote, she said,
"You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world."
That's it right there. Okay?
Wow.
You look at that statement, you see how invalid that is. As a young man coming up, you see how they're just trying to put you down, okay? Now, if the roles were reversed, this would be a cancelable offense for us. Okay. You understand?
100%.
So I think that, you know, there's double standards, okay? And we have to look at these. We
For
don't
real.
let this shit slide. Okay. Pause. Okay? We just have to realize that, like, if you're going to say that about us, and you expect us to not say that about you, let's take a step back. Let's look at this.
Nah, this is straight up fucking facts. He's not wrong. What's crazy is that a whole fucking celebrity is talking shit about men. Like, women complain that men ain't shit, but you don't give men space to be men. You know what I'm saying?
You're a bad person because you're telling women to have sex with their husbands in order to get treatment. No. If you had critical thinking, if you had emotional intelligence, you would know that when you have sex with your partner, or if you show appreciation to your partner, you are more likely inclined to reciprocate behavior. Right? It is a natural human tendency to sit there and notice the behavior someone is putting in, and naturally you want to find a way to show appreciation. Two things can exist at the same time. I'm not telling wives to screw their husbands because it gets job done. No, my husband does these things for me because he loves me. He loves me. I don't understand where the lack of connection is for some of you. He loves me. He wants to treat me right. And so because he loves me and treats me right, I want to crack him. I want to get cracked. Okay? When you get cracked, you're in a better mood. You can see clearly. You don't have an attitude anymore. And so naturally, when you do things for each other, it just cancels out. If good behavior equals good reward, everything is good. What the fuck?
Woman in the comments said, I throw my husband a little bit and he starts thinking he can do everything from laundry and dishes to taking care of the kids better than me. I sit back and let him go off, big head. 4 loads of laundry will really show me. Well, you got to energize them now. You got to give them something to work for. You got to make them beat their chest a little bit, right? You know, I feel good. I feel great. I feel inspired. I can conquer the world. But you know, you got to fill up his tank a little bit now.
This is probably one of the most unromantic ass generations in the world. Like, you literally got to ask a man for dates, ask them for flowers, ask them for time. Like, it be so rare that you have a connection with somebody that want to do those things naturally. As a woman, I'm not telling you shit that you should already know. You should know that I like flowers. You should know that I like dates. You should know that I want time spent. Like, I'm not the bitch that you keep put up in the crib. I want to go out. I want to be seen. I want to have a time. I cannot do a boring nigga. That shit drives me insane. I like to have fun. I like to create memories. If you're boring, it will never, ever, 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 ever work with me. Ever.
I mean, every woman is different, so you really don't know for sure what they like. what y'all want to do is y'all want men to continue spending money indefinitely to see what you like. This is, not back in the day anymore when inflation wasn't crazy to where maybe I could do a little bit more for you. Now you got to be a little bit more strategic, got to be a little smarter. But how you moving out here? Y'all want men to be just straight up irresponsible when it comes to you. Straight up irresponsible. The men not doing that no more. They just not.
I think everybody knows that if you're men don't want to sleep with you or men don't want to marry you.
Right. It
That's
makes you less
slightly
desirable.
value, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think women need to be told that this is true. And I think it is true in a lot of cultures, a lot of communities. A lot of guys would legitimately not marry a woman. Like you can see Riley Reid got married and had a baby or whatever recently. And a lot of the comments are like, that guy's
Do you think most men share that sentiment?
I'm not sure. I actually haven't done good measurements on what degree.
I would love to see that one. That would be a great study,
I'm gonna write
actually.
this down in my study notes.
Because, Andrea, if you had to guess, what percentage of men do you think see women as less desirable if they're more promiscuous?
I'd definitely say more than majority.
Like 75?
Yeah, I would say, between there. I mean, it's hard to think that there's outliers because, on the internet, overwhelmingly, it's very extreme on that position, so I would just
very
expect
loud.
that.
What do you think
Yeah.
about female promiscuity?
Well, ask me a more specific question because what I think about female promiscuity is
Kind of comment said 100% of men who have any self-respect. The other guy says 100% of men think that most men have to settle for a promiscuous woman. Another guy says, as a man who talks to men, that number is closer to 99% of men only want to marry a clean woman. Honestly, who wants to buy an overused car when you can get a brand new one for the same price? It's actually a great point, to be honest. That's a great point.